Hi, I'm doing some cards for my online card class submission, and this first one is mostly pre-cut. I've been using the papers from an old paper pad that I have, the basic gray Urban Papery, and I'll show you some of the papers I'm using. I've already pre-cut these papers. I actually pre-cut the green one too, but it's probably not the right size, so I have a scrap that I can cut again. And I'm going to use my 2-inch circle punch to cut out this butterfly. And I'm using one of the sketches that was provided in the class. I'm also going to use a stamp. This is an old Hero Arts stamp set. I think it's Hero Arts. And it was the letter, and every word in it had the same beginning letter. And I'm going to be using the Merci. Okay, so let me get started on my card. I'm going to score my card in the middle. At 4 1/4. And what I did is I used my silhouette cutter to actually cut all the shapes out from my card design. So you can see, and I didn't want to waste paper, so I actually cut the center out of this pink strip because it's going to be a mat for the rest of the paper. So this way I'm saving some paper, and I can use the rest of the paper to do other kinds of cutouts. I'm noticing that this edge is a little bit rough from the silhouette. I don't know if I'm not using the right blade strength or what, but it's okay because it's a little bit distressed anyway, so it's not going to hurt the design. So I'm just going to add a little bit of tape runner to the back of this one along the edges, since this is a mat for the pink area. And this is going to be a challenge. I'm going to try to center it on here as best as I can. That's pretty good. And it's a good thing I'm using my non-stick craft sheet, because that adhesive would stick to paper and then I would be stuck with where it is, or I'd rip the paper. So there we go. And then that is going to go on my card here, but not in the center. I'm going to actually drop it from the center just where the curved line of the pattern paper is below the edge of the card. This is based on the sketch. I'll have to show you the sketch in my blog post. Okay, so that's about where I'm going to want it. So I'm going to add some more adhesive. A couple of little bits in the center for good measure. And again, I'm going to drop it. I'm centering it horizontally, just eyeballing it, and then adhering it to the card. There we go. And then this extra bit, I'm just going to cut off with some scissors. So I didn't even need that bit of adhesive. Of course, I might use that for something else. We'll see. There we go. Okay. So I also need to punch out my butterfly with my circle punch. I'm using, this is a Marvy 2-inch punch, and I'm just going to center it on the butterfly. And I'm going to have to tilt this, you may not see exactly where I'm centering it. Okay, that's where I'm going to punch it. Let me hold it a little steady, there we go. And then punch. And that's going to go on this side. I'm going to pop it up. And I couldn't decide if I needed it to have like a white mat. So I may have to grab a piece of white and cut it. I'm going to have to see what size punch. I think I only have a larger punch. Maybe I'll just forego it. Now, originally I had cut this piece. This is going to be where my sentiment would be, and I was going to place that here and overlap this here. And that still works. It just seems like an odd size piece, and I think if I put it this way, that would work too. Okay, the sketch shows a vertical section here, and they're strips of different colors, but I just wanted to change it up a little bit. So I could do something like this, or let me punch this other one. So I have another piece of the green, and I have this punch from Stampin' Up. I'll have to find out what the name of that is and put it in the blog post as well. And I can cut it. It's a little bit different shape. I mean, it's the same style shape, but it's a little bit smaller, and it might work, but I'm worried it's going to be too small. So let's take this one away. Put this one here. And it's not too small for the sentiment. I mean, Merci will fit. Maybe if I put it on here, I can better see how that will look. Oh, that's pretty cute. Maybe that looks better because of the scale of the word. I don't know, let's look at it one more time. Maybe if I was repeating the word merci, I could move this butterfly up a little bit and just repeat merci, merci, merci 3 times. That would be cute too. Okay, maybe I'll do that so I can keep my original. So I just cut this one from the silhouette, this one from a punch. Looks similar shape, but I'll go with the longer one to keep with the sketch a little bit better. And then I'll pop dot the butterfly. Maybe before it's over I'll decide to mat it. So let me just move that out of the way. And I'm also on the fence about punching or stamping it in black or stamping it in white and keeping it kind of light. So I'm going to pause the video. Well, maybe I won't pause. Let's see. Depends on where all my goodies are. Okay, here's my white embossing powder, and that's Stampin' Up, and my Versamark, and we need a block. That's a big block for a little bitty word, but it'll work. No, I don't want it that big. Will you all talk to yourself as much as I'm talking to myself? Okay, that's not much better, but that'll be fine. Okay. Okay. And since I'm going to do it in Versa 3 times, we'll just stamp them all at once and then do the embossing all together. Okay. And it's so light, you can just barely see it. This card is for some friends of mine who took me out to lunch recently. We had the best time. We went to a restaurant called Dough, which is has been on diners, drive-ins, and dives, I think. And it's so busy now, it's hard to get in. But we had the best time with the best food. So, and it was a real treat. They treated me to lunch that day, so just want to send. Now it looks like I have a little something on here. I'm just going to use the edge of my scissor. There's something on this eye right there. I probably should have run my powder pal over it. Okay, now let's heat it up. And this paper's kind of it's distressed with white, and I think the white will look good with it. Whew. I usually, you know what, let me grab my clothespin. I usually use a clothespin to hold it so I can keep my fingers away from the heat. That'll be better, and you can see it a little bit better. And it changes. There we go. Okay, good. All right. I'm actually going to clothespin this on here for just a minute because it keeps shifting while I try to decide where my butterfly is going to be. I think he should face out like this, and this needs to move up just a little. It's too close to the bottom, so this looks like a good place. Now I could foam mount this too. Maybe I should. Alright, so let's get some foam dots here. These are by Recollections. It's just the first ones I grabbed. And I may double up the butterfly and do a single layer on the green. I think that's what I'll do. Let's see if it's going to be this way. Well, I'll put it behind both sides to keep it from falling flat. Okay. We'll use definitely a big one in the center. You know what, I'll do that one in a minute because I think I might decide where I'm going to place those. I may have it rest on top of this and then add another foam. So let's get this one on first. I'm a little more used to the Stampin' Up! Dots foam tape and they're a little flatter, which, you know, that's great. I think I have some. I think they're just, I'm out on my desk. I have to get in my closet and find them. But why does it always take so long to peel these off? Okay, here we go. Alright, now I'm going to raise it up a little bit. That looks good. Okay, I'm going to press over each dot, kind of smush it down a little bit. Okay, good. Now, if I have him right here, yeah, he should be a little higher. So, like one piece of foam under this area. All right. And then 2 pieces of foam on this side. And I think I'm going to put plenty because I'm worried that I'm worried it's going to be flat. And this is going to be so big. I think I'm going to hand deliver this one. I don't know what the postage would be on this. This foam tape's a bit thick for me. I took the stick off before I stick it on there. Okay, wow, it's super thick, but it matches up with the height because of the other foam tapes the same thickness. So this would be a little bit lower if I used a different foam tape. Okay, but I like this. This is cute. All right. Now this card's coming together really fast. This is unusual for me, but the planning behind it took a little bit longer. I tend to kind of think, rethink, move it around, but piecing it together this quickly makes it fun and you feel like you can get more things done. So there we go. And there you have it. A super quick thank you card. And even these pieces could have been just cut with your trimmer and then corner rounding. So it doesn't have to be on the silhouette, but I haven't been using my silhouette and I wanted to kind of put everything together on one page and cut a lot at one time. So it would work either way. Alright, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.